All right, Happy New Year, fam. Today is Saturday. It's about high noon, and it's January the 2nd, 2021. And today we're going to take you into the kitchen so I can make some Artie's famous gumbo. All right, time to make some gumbo. All right, let's ride with me, y'all. All right. All right, we're gonna start out with our Holy Trinity, and the Holy Trinity is celery, bell pepper, and onions. So I got one bell pepper, two onions, and three stalks celery, and there's some garlic cloves there. We're gonna start there, and I'm gonna chop them up, and then just put them away for right now. All right. Okay, fam. Now that I have got my Trinity all chopped up, my bell pepper, onion, and celery, and I'm just gonna put them in this bowl. Combine them, put them in this bowl, mix them up a little bit, cover them up with some saran wrap, and just stick them in the refrigerator as I get ready to prepare my roux. All right, my Trinity is ready for the fridge. I'll put it in there till I get the other stuff going. All right. All right, fam. Now it's time. We're getting ready to make the roux, and the ingredients for your roux is 1 cup of cooking oil, 1.5 cup of flour, and 1 Bud Light. Now the Bud Light is for you to drink while you're slowly mixing your roux, because you have to take your time and mix your roux, and just slowly, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, fam. So since this is a chicken and sausage gumbo, it is now time to get the sausage and the chicken prepared. I will slice them up and kind of separate them before I put them into my roux. All right, fam. Here are some of the other ingredients, some of the vegetables and seasonings. You got okra. It's going to take 1 pound of okra, sliced okra, and I got some fresh garden tomatoes from the summer out the garden, peeled tomatoes, about a pound or so of them, or whatever that is in there. A couple of bay leaves to put in there for seasoning, and I'm gonna get this lemon, slice it up, and that goes in there too. Well, actually, I'm gonna get the juice from the lemon, that goes in there too. All right. Okay, other ingredients, fam, include Worcestershire sauce, and it takes about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, and then it takes 3 tablespoons of the Cajun seasoning. All right, then it takes 3 tablespoons of my Artie's famous hot sauce. Okay, 3 tablespoons of that. It takes a 1/2 cup of ketchup, and I usually mix all those together. And I usually mix all those together in my for my seasonings, and I'll show you how I do that. All right. Also, I have some shrimp that's gonna go in there. That's near the end, and I got some fish here that I'm gonna fillet. They're already filleted. I'm just gonna chop them up and put in there. That kind of goes in last, near the end with my gumbo. Got shrimp and, like I said, fish. Now you could use, if you wanted to use some oysters or raw meat, lobster. I mean, not lobster meat, but crab meat or something. But I don't have that, so I'm just going to use shrimp and fish. Those would be my seafood items. All right, fam. I have taken the skin off of these leg quarters, and I'll take my Bubba knife and I'll just cut the meat off of the bone. And here are some of the skins and things that I'm going to put into this stock pot. Okay, I'm going to put 10 cups of water in there, and I'm going to put the skins and the bones from these leg and thigh quarters, and I'm going to put it on the stove and let it boil off, and then I'll strain it, and that will be my chicken stock. All right. Okay, fam. Now that I've got my sausage and chicken, that's my chicken that I chopped up. I took it off the bones, and here's what I'm gonna put in my chicken stock there. I'm gonna put that in my water that I got boiling on the stove now, And the sausage it's got green onions. You know, when they made with green onions, so that's the little greens, nice specks you see in there. And then, like I said, I got my chicken thighs and quarters. And listen, fam, and it's like I said, it's 1 pound of each. It's a little bit more than 1 pound of the sausage, but it calls for 1 pound of chicken, 1 pound of smoked sausage. Now, I used you saw the four leg quarters. Once I chopped them all, once I got all the meat off of them and weighed it out to about 2 pounds. So if you want for references, it would probably take about two of the nice good size leg quarters, for and once you cut all the meat off from around it, it'll take about two of the leg quarters to get you a pound of cut up meat. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge. Don't worry, it's cool. It's really cold, and I kept safe. But so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the refrigerator. I'm not ready for them yet. They'll go in the roux a little bit later on. The chicken is uncooked. The sausage is smoked, but it's not been sauteed or anything like that. All right, we'll move on to the next step. All right, fam. Here's my stock pot. I just put my chicken bones and fat and meat and skins in there, and I'm gonna just let that boil, bring it to a boil. And I did not put any seasoning in it at all. I just want straight chicken broth. I didn't even put any bouillon cubes in it either. It's just about 10 cups of water, and and then I got the chicken, the chicken parts in it and everything. So, and that's gonna make my chicken stock, and I'll strain it whenever I get done making my roux, and I'll show you how I'm going to do my roux. All right, here is the pot I'm going to start my roux out. It's a nice thick stock pot. Some of them call them a Dutch oven, but it's cast iron, and I'll start with my roux in there. And all right, and I always like to use a wooden spoon. That way when you put your roux in, and when you put your I put my oil in first, all of my oil, and then I slowly sprinkle the flour in there a little at a time, and I'm constantly stirring it. This is where your Bud Light comes in at, or your beer. That's where you drink your beer. Take your time, put it on the heat, probably about, I wouldn't put it on too high, maybe medium. Maybe you start out to kind of warm it up a little high, but you got to control it. Can't burn it. Can't scorch it or scotch it, as we say down here in Arkansas. So you got to keep it going, and I'll show you the finished product here shortly. All right. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the finished recipe is going to call for 8 cups of the chicken stock, or water, well, what I call chicken stock. It calls for 8 cups. So make sure you make plenty of it, and you can, once you get it strained out, you can put them in some Ziploc bags or Tupperware, and you can freeze the stock, some of the other stock, for later. But this recipe calls for 8 cups. After you've done your roux and all your other stuff, well, I'll show you, it'll call for 8 cups of stock, and that way it's in proportion with everything else that you have in there. All right. Okay. Okay, fam. Now here's where I combine my seasonings and sauces. I've taken and mixed my ketchup with my hot sauce and my Cajun seasoning, with my Artie's famous hot sauce, and my Cajun seasoning and Worcestershire sauce, and I got my bay leaves over here, and I got my cloves of garlic. I'll chop them up, mince them up real fine, and I'll put them in here. Once I get them chopped, I'll put them in here, And then I think I'm going to put my lemons in here as slices when I put all my ingredients and put everything and put all my stock in there, and just let it cook with it. And I'll take them out like I will the bay leaves once the once the gumbo gets done. I'll just remove the rings of the wedges of, the slices of lemon and the bay leaves. But in the meantime, the garlic will be in this mix. And like I said, this mix is a half a cup of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, 3 tablespoons of Artie's famous hot sauce, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so that's the kicker right there. All right. Okay, fam, so I got that flour, I got that oil, and I got that beer. Time to make that roux. Alright. Okay, I got that oil in there. Now I'm getting ready to put my flour in there and stir it up. I'm letting it heat up just a little bit. I'm getting ready to put my flour in there and start stirring. Alright, look at my oil is heating up a little bit, fam, so I'm going to go ahead and start sprinkling a little bit of this flour in here. Okay. I'm not putting it all of it in at once. I'm just putting a little bit in here. Can you hear it kind of sizzle? Now I'm going to start stirring. You don't want to get clumpy either. So you gotta kind of work it. You don't want it to get clumpy. So I'm gonna turn this camera off. Take another sip of this beer, and I'll see you guys in a few. All right. Okay, it's still at its early stages. I haven't quite got all the flour in yet. And I got the heat on kind of high, but I'm going to turn it down. As soon as I get all the flour in there and get it, see it's got that kind of beige color right now. But we're going to work it till it gets some peanut butter in it. Peanut butter color from Gumbo. Alright, I'm just going to keep on stirring, and I'll walk you guys through the process. I'm going to turn this heater down a little bit. Alright. Okay, fam, I got all my flour in there. I put a little bit more oil in there, just a little bit, because really the ratio should be about half and half, equal. But I just had a little bit more flour, so I'm stirring it. Don't that pretty? Now it's starting to kind of sizzle a little bit, but it's not scorching, and I'm gonna turn it down right now. All right. Okay, fam. So basically, like I said, I reduced the heat. And now I'm just kind of letting it, you got to stay with it, you know, keep your beverage at hand there, and just kind of stay with it. I'm steady stirring it. It's starting to turn a little bit darker, but I'm just going to take my time. I don't know how many minutes, but by the time it takes to drink a beer, I guess. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright. Okay, fam, I'm stepping away from my roux for a quick second. Here's my finished chicken broth. Stock, chicken stock broth. And then here's what I had left over, and that will go to the compost bin for soil for next spring, and my worm bin. Alright, now back to my roux. Don't that pretty? It smells good in here too. Alright, back to my roux. Now it's getting a little bit darker. It's been, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. Now, with experience, you'll know that I can, if I'd like to, and I think I will, turn the fire up just a little bit. It's got a good woody smell. It's not scorched or anything like that. I don't think it's too low, but I think I could, like Emerald said, I think I can kick it up a notch to let it get a little bit browner. But you still have to watch it and be careful. And this comes with experience, okay? Because I'm already on my second beer. Anyway, let me turn this off and get it up to where we need it to be. Okay, fam, so now my roux is ready for my uncooked chicken and my sausage. Oh, and it smells so good, y'all. Yeah, concept of 360, let it smell good. And I'm getting ready, like I said, to put my chicken in there, raw chicken up. And right now, once again, it's just only oil and flour. Don't that's a pretty color? Look at yonder, y'all. Ooh, and it smells real good. But I'm going to put my chicken in now and my sausage, and I'm going to basically coat and sort of semi-saute, my meat, so it's still cooking. All right. Okay, so now that I've put my chicken and sausage in here, I just now did that, and see it's getting a good coating on it, and I hadn't put my stock in yet. My stock's over there waiting for me. I got it on low so it'll stay warm. But anyway, I got my sausage and chicken in here, and I'm getting a good coat on it. And so and I'm basically sort of it's still cooking because I still got it on about medium heat. So, and you would do this probably about maybe 5 minutes or so, because then I'll begin to add my Trinity. I think, whatever it says on the recipe, but my Trinity and my other things. But I'll walk you cats through it. Just roll with me. All right. Okay, fam, so now that my chicken and sausage has been in here for 5 minutes or more or so, I'm getting ready to add my Trinity to it. These are well coated now and everything. I'm getting ready to add my Trinity to it, so check it out. Okay, just added my Trinity to it. So I'm getting ready to stir this and let it kind of halfway saute with it because it's still cooking. I got it about on medium heat. So, it looks real thick right now. But that's the process. You want to get that roux kind of mixed in, and oil and flour kind of mixed in, so it coats all your veggies also. And so let me go ahead and do this for about now 5 minutes or so. All right. Okay, fam. Now we're at the point. It's kind of a crucial point in the cooking process. I've got my Trinity in there after the chicken and sausages. Now I'm getting ready to put my seasonings in. You see it's kind of dry, but that's good because what it indicates is that everything is still basically cooking somewhat and it's ready for some liquid. So I'm going to put my season, and remember I didn't have any seasonings in it initially. So the chicken was raw, the sausage was already smoked, the Trinity was not seasoned at all, and I haven't put my stock in it yet, which is not seasoned either. So we're getting ready to put the seasoning, and that's going to be the kicker right there. All right, ride with me, fam. Okay, so here it goes. I'm putting my seasoning in there. I mean, my ingredients, my ketchup and all that. That's going to add a little moisture to it, and I'm going to stir that in and kind of let that get that flavor to it. That's what the kicker is, fam, right there. All the season, Cajun and season, Artie's famous hot sauce, the garlic, and all of them things. All right. All right, fam. Now that I've added my 8 cups of chicken stock in the mix, unseasoned, but it's already got the seasoning in that you saw I just did a while ago, and it smells real good, fam, real. And so now, but it still has to cook, so I got some more secrets I'm gonna let you cast in on in a minute, but I'm gonna I'm still stirring. I still don't want it to scotch because that flour still will settle to the bottom, even though it still looks real pretty. Got that peanut butter color of the roux. Yeah, man. And so I'm getting ready now to add my tomatoes and my okra. Y'all forgot about that. I didn't forget. So I'm gonna put that in there, and then I got something else I'm finna let y'all in on. All right. All right, fam. I just now added my lemon, okay, and my tomatoes, frozen tomatoes, and my okra in there. And so that's gonna, the cooking process of the roux has already stopped basically. So it's worse. It is what it is with the roux. That's a pretty color. Now I got my okra in there. I got my tomatoes in there. Okay, you feel me? I got them in there. I got my lemons in there. And I'm just gonna let that just cook for a minute, and then I'm gonna do something else. And my seafood, don't even think about that right now. Shrimp and nothing like that. I got my bay leaf. See my bay leaf? Check it out. Fish it out of there, fam. See my bay leaf? Don't that pretty? And it smells real good right now. So, and it's getting thick, so I may have to add a little water. Well, I don't know if I have to add a little water or not, because once these tomatoes begin to, yes, they come from Brown's Family Farms garden, fresh. Once they, throw out in here or cook in here and mix it in, that'll add some more liquid to it. So, but see how you can smell it. Let me get y'all. See, can you? Ooh, that's good. Look like I'm in Louisiana. Anyway, but I'm almost, because I'm in Southwest Arkansas. About how many miles? 40, 30, 40, 50 miles from the. It's not 50 miles from the line. If you go due south on the Red River, it's probably 40 miles. Anyway, so, and I learned a lot when I was working in Louisiana. My homeboy named Greg LaRue, he showed me a lot of stuff about Cajun cooking. Anyway, let me continue on with my gumbo and my beer. Bye. Whew. All right, y'all. Beer number 3. Listen, I got all my ingredients in there. I got my tomatoes in there, my okra in there, and they're sauteing. Well, not sauteing. Actually, they're cooking right now. So my arm is give out. I'd have been stirring for 3 hours, and so I'm gonna check it out. And this is my secret. Now, don't worry about the shrimp. I'm gonna put the shrimp in there later on tonight. All right, and my fish, my seafood you know, because it don't take but a minute for them to marry in there. But here's what I'm gonna do. Here's the secret, fam. Check it out. You see this crock pot right here? I'm getting ready to put this gumbo in this crock pot. All right, and then I'm gonna chill out, and I'm just let it ride for a couple hours, cause it still has to cook. It still, you know, you still got some work to do. You gotta put in work. But if y'all can just look at that, ooh, it smell good. You know, I got a little sample. I put a little sample on the side, so I didn't just dip in and dip it back in. And so, you know, when I tasted it, all I could holler was, "Go Reggie now, never gonna let you down." Oh yes, I'm Go Reggie. So anyway, fam, I love you guys to death, and Happy New Year. And I'm getting ready to put this gumbo, and we got to get to the rice and all of them things later on, you know, whatever. But you see how that is? Look how thick that is. Taste it, kiss it. All right now, and so I'm finna put it in here, and I'm finna chill out. And I think I'm gonna let it cook for probably, what time is it? It's in by 7 o'clock. So Tutu, Bobby Arnez, you know, this would be Sunday's dinner. And they say gumbo tastes better the next day anyway. So, in concluding this video, and next time, see you guys next time. I'll have the shrimp and the seafood already in it. But it's hidden. 100. Alright, love you guys. Bye-bye.